My story starts at college. Jeannie and I went to Nyack College, which had a missionary emphasis, but I didn't have any particular country that I was interested in. But I found out that Jeannie was born in China, and that kind of intrigued me. And we became involved in something called the China Prayer Band. We came together and prayed for China. And they said, hey, how about you come down to New York City and teach in Chinatown. So Jeannie and I went with a group of teachers down into Chinatown in New York City, and there we were involved in a church and taught Sunday school. And as I recall, we had to climb like 7 stories up to the Sunday school, and I had 6 junior-aged boys, and they were pistols, and they would drop stuff out the window and just caused havoc. But 2 of them, the Ang brothers, were they were the ones that were sort of outstanding because they were so naughty. And but over the course of time, we had decided maybe we'd take these kids out in the country. And so we took them out to a place near West Point called Bear Mountain Park. And the kids had never seen any expanse of grass and trees and stuff like that, and we just had a great time with them. I challenged them to come to Christ. And that was sort of the end of the story. I never heard. Jeannie and I went on to another Christian service assignment. And years later, in the early 70s, I was at Trinity Seminary in Deerfield, Illinois, and I was sitting eating lunch, and this big Chinese kid came up to me and he said, "Hi, are you Paul McKean?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Well, I'm Victor Ang." I said, "The Victor Ang?" He said, "Yes, I don't think we ever told you, but the 6 of us committed our lives to Christ after that meeting. And then we all decided we would follow you and go into the ministry." And he told where different ones of the guys were. And he had a brother, the younger brother was named Freddie Ang. And so that was it. And I said, here's my address, write me sometime, but that never happened. Then years later, a friend, Richard, who was instrumental in a lot of the things we saw God do, said, "You need to come to my daughter and son-in-law's church. They need a challenge." And I said, "Well, okay, if I get invited, I'd love to come." So he went back to the elders to get approval, and wouldn't you know, one of them was Freddie Ang, one of the boys that came to Christ back in 1959. And this was 1989. And so we were invited to come. We spoke at the church. And when we came up to the church, we said, "Hey, this is the church that we taught Sunday school in." And it's called the Chinese Evangel Mission. And they were in a new building. And we were able to speak to the congregation. And then I met Freddie Ang. And Freddie Ang is 6'9", very tall, thin guy. And we met, and I said, "What do you remember from those days when I was teaching Sunday school?" And he said, "I remember you were very tall, and I've wondered what happened to you." And then he introduced me to his son. And he said, "This is my son. His name is Paul, named after the man who led me to Christ."